All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. For the next few minutes, I want you to just think of me as your personal mentor, because I am talking directly to you today, the ambitious student who absolutely refuses to settle for average. We're going to unpack some incredible, real-world insights derived from an 18-year-old day trader named Conrad, who recently dove into billionaire Stephen A. Schwartzman's book, What It Takes. Conrad's takeaways from this book offer us a literal masterclass on why aiming low is actually the single most dangerous choice you can make. We're going to break down exactly why you need to choose the hard route, starting right now.
But first, let me hit you with a hard question, and I need you to be completely honest with yourself here. Why do you settle for easy goals? I know, it's a tough thing to admit, but so many of us naturally default to the path of least resistance, right? We pick the target we know for a fact we can hit, just so we don't have to face the sting of missing it. But think about it. In doing that, are you accidentally engineering an average life for yourself? Let's figure out how to break that cycle.
All right, part one, the trap of easy goals. This is where we uncover our first major lesson, combining the seasoned wisdom of a self-made billionaire with the raw, hungry ambition of an 18-year-old entrepreneur. Look at the massive contrast between easy goals and hard goals. Sure, easy goals keep you cozy, they keep you comfortable, but they ultimately cap your potential and leave a tiny footprint. Hard goals, on the other hand, they carry massive consequences. They force you to stretch your boundaries, and they are what actually allow you to leave a legacy. Conrad realized something brilliant while reading Schwartzman's book. The sheer amount of time, sweat, and effort you spend chasing an easy goal versus a hard goal is basically the exact same. But the results? They are radically, undeniably different.
And that brings us to this powerful quote straight from the source. There's nothing different between them besides the consequence that come with them. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. When you take the easy route, you aren't actually saving yourself from doing the work. You're just choosing a lesser consequence. You're settling for a much smaller payoff for the time you're already spending anyway.
So, we have to ask, why do we do this? Why do people choose to stay comfortable? Well, mostly they're just afraid to take the big risk. They get settled in their current environment, and often they simply cannot see the massive worldwide potential right in front of them. Conrad notes a really interesting story from the book where Schwartzman realized his father's local linen business actually had the potential to go global. But his dad was comfortable where he was, and Conrad actually saw that exact same dynamic playing out with his own father's business. People get too comfortable, and that comfort literally blinds them to the big risk opportunities staring them in the face.
Moving on to part two, conquering your intrusive thoughts.
Because look, the moment you finally decide to drop those easy goals and aim higher, you are going to hit some serious internal roadblocks. Your own brain is going to try to stop you. And this brings us to a vital mental framework you need, a critical thinking system. Conrad defines this as your ability to avoid getting overwhelmed or contradicting yourself when intrusive thoughts start threatening your strategy. Whether you're navigating the crazy, high-stakes world of day trading or you're just facing everyday life setbacks, having this system is absolutely essential. Your mind, as Conrad discovered, is the main thing holding you back.
To protect your long-term focus, you've got to have a strict process. Take day trading, for instance. You might suddenly see a buy opportunity and a sell opportunity at the exact same time. Intrusive thoughts immediately rush in to panic you. If you let them sit between your goal and your strategy, your long-term perspective is completely ruined. So, what's the play? You identify the thought. You actively refuse to let it overwhelm you. You ignore those chaotic short-term contradictions, and you commit entirely to your long-term goal.
To really cement this idea, imagine Stephen Schwartzman running a race and suddenly getting a horrible cramp. His immediate intrusive thought, should I pull to the side or do I keep pushing? Now, compare that to Conrad back in the 8th grade. He tries out for the basketball team in Oregon and he completely fails. He's heartbroken. His intrusive thought, do I even play basketball anymore or do I just give it up? It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire running a foot race or an 8th grader failing a tryout. You are going to face the exact same intrusive thoughts begging you to quit. The only difference is how your critical thinking system handles them.
Which leads us right into part three, choosing the big route.
As your mentor today, I really want to teach you about the power of the pivot. Failing a small goal is almost never the end. It's usually the spark for a massive transformation. Let's look at Conrad's timeline. Back in 8th and 9th grade, he was about 5 foot and 180 pounds, just stuck in bad habits, eating a bunch of junk food. His initial small goal was just to lose a little bit of weight. Then comes that basketball tryout, and he fails to make the team. But instead of letting that intrusive thought win, he makes a choice. He pivots. He decides he's going to get faster, smarter, and skinnier so he can try again next year. And get this, just 6 months later, he had completely transformed himself physically. Failing that tiny goal of just making the team forced him to adopt a much bigger, much more fulfilling target.
And that realization birthed this fantastic quote from him: "Why go for the easy route where the big route is where it's truly at?" The big route is literally the only path where you actually start achieving the things you genuinely desire deep down. If you just settle for the easy win, you're shortchanging your own fulfillment.
So the bottom line here is that the mind is the only thing holding you back. Whether you're trying to master a notoriously brutal industry like day trading, or you're just trying to physically transform your body over 6 months, your internal limits are your biggest, and honestly, your only true enemy. You have to conquer your mind before you can ever conquer the market or the basketball court or anything else.
All right, part 4, setting high personal standards. If you're truly an ambitious student, it's time to move way past simply trying to prove yourself to others. It is time to start looking toward building a lasting legacy. Let's look at the highly practical steps Conrad is taking right now toward generational wealth. Step 1, take the big risk. Step 2, invest capital directly into yourself. For Conrad, this meant taking his trading capital and using it to seize an opportunity to attend Harvard Extension School. Step 3, diversify your portfolio and your skills. And step 4, generate passive income and cash flow. He isn't just looking for one single paycheck, he's actively building multiple streams of income to create wealth, not just for today, but to leave a legacy.
But here's the catch. You cannot execute a massive plan like that in a vacuum. You have to elevate your environment. You must flat out refuse to let anyone stop you. You have to actively seek out better places, and you have to surround yourself with the right people. Maintaining incredibly high personal standards means you have to place yourself in rooms and environments where massive ambition isn't seen as weird. It's just the absolute baseline norm.
So I'm stepping in as your accountability partner right now. Look at your life. Are your current standards holding you back? Are the people you hang out with keeping your goals small? Seriously, evaluate your situation right now. Are you playing it way too safe just because the standards of your current environment are too low? I want to leave you with this final piece of encouragement from our source material. The sky is the limit. The only thing holding you back is yourself. You have to take full ownership of your path. You've got the critical thinking system to beat back those intrusive thoughts now. And you know that the effort it takes for a big goal is the exact same as the effort for a small one.
Which leaves us with one final provocative question to wrap up today's explainer. What is your goal right now? Is it small or is it big? Look at your targets for this year. Are they easy? Because if they are, I really hope this mentorship session has left you incredibly hungry to abandon them today. Stop taking the easy route. Go big, accept the massive consequences, and build your legacy. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one. Keep pushing.